Hello, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Hey, as far as you know, is this game still on? Lane Kiffin talked yesterday about COVID issues at Ole Miss. Has there been any talk, like with Hunter, anything that you're aware of about this game being in jeopardy of being postponed, or how's that going?
No, as I'm aware that we're going to play, obviously, um, there was a test this morning for all SEC teams, and we'll get that result back. Usually, we test early on Thursday, so our results will get back earlier in case, you're on the road and all those things. You have to leave earlier. But as of right now, I have no indication that we're not going to play.
So you're feeling good, optimistic.
I am, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hutch.
Sam, along those lines, I know y'all dealt with it over the summer, but with everything, there's been a couple of games already postponed. Coach Saban has it. Do you feel like your team is staying focused, kind of at the task at hand?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think so. We've been really good here, since the season started with our COVID cases and things of that nature. So, it's hard to say why somebody gets, I know you have to be in contact and all those things, but I've known some guys that have been really, really careful that, unfortunately got COVID. And I watched Coach Saban's media talk, and obviously he felt like he had been very, covered, wearing his mask and distancing and all those things. I don't know. Sometimes I guess it just happens, but I've been really, really proud of our football team.
Scotty.
Hey, Sam, Rakeem tweeted earlier today that he's back. Just what do you think about getting him back in the lineup, and what are your expectations for him coming off an injury?
Well, I got to get on Twitter because he said he's going to play.
Yeah, he said, I'm back.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to have to get on. I'm going to have to follow him on Twitter. I would be extremely happy if he's able to play. And obviously he's a really fine running back, and we'd love to have him out there playing. And I think we did the right thing with him last week by not playing him. I don't know how effective he would have been if we would have been able to play him, but I'm glad that he's ready to go.
Jason.
I guess the equipment team got your game ball ready. What's it like? Have you gotten it back, and just getting that back after that win?
I did. They brought it in to me this afternoon, and I didn't know they was going to tweet out to Marty and McGee, but I heard they did, and I think I threw them under the bus. I told Marty and McGee I didn't know where the ball was, and I didn't. So that's why I said it. But somebody did a really good job with it, and it looked sharp.
Ty.
Sam, I know you haven't been here the last couple of years, but this football team hasn't won a home SEC game since 2016. I know you mentioned that either last night or on your teleconference yesterday, but have you just gotten a sense from talking to people this week that there's a lot of confidence heading into this game this weekend?
With COVID, I don't get to talk to many people. Jamie doesn't know a whole lot about football, She supports the Razorbacks, but so she doesn't know that we had a losing streak, and I didn't either, to be honest with you. I knew we hadn't won a lot of games, but I guess it'd be, awesome to break the losing streak, but we're just trying to win, to be honest with you. And we haven't talked about it, partly because I didn't know about it, but we haven't talked about it, but we have talked about winning. And so that's what we're going to try to do.
Hey, Biddy.
Yeah, Coach. Can you just talk about a little bit about this starting? You've had some problems starting fast. Went down 17-0 last week against Ole Miss. That happens. That could be hard to come back from. you mentioned changes and stuff in your pregame routine. Could we expect to see different things? Would it be noticeable to us, anything that you do different?
I don't think so. I mean, it might, Trey, but, I was talking more about the urgency of pregame. And, I mean, our kids were up watching Missouri and LSU last week on the big screen, and I don't know if that had anything to do with Auburn, and we're sitting there watching it and going through the motions and dropping passes. And, we weren't out there urgently trying to get ready for the game. And I believe everything matters, including stretch and everything. And I think it has something to do with the way we started. And so, 17-0 down also means you're probably not playing very good anywhere. And so I think we have to really amp up what our expectations are of warm-ups. And when you amp that up, you also amp up the mind, and our mind was on Missouri and LSU. It looked to me like, now I'm not positive that's what it was, but I know I was pretty hot after the warm-ups with trying to get our team focused.
Nikki.
On top of that, for the fast starts, just how has the offense looked in practice this week? And is there a chance Hudson Henry is available this week?
Nikki, I think Hudson will be available. I thought we had a really good Monday and Tuesday practice, and I didn't think on offense, I did not think it was up to our standards yesterday. Some of those things are additions to what we're trying to get done and things of that nature that take time. I get it, but we have to have a better practice today. But I was pleased Monday and Tuesday. I was not so happy with the way we practiced yesterday.
Otis.
Sam, going into the season, really behind Rakeem, there was no one that ever had a carry. Once you move TJ out to receiver anyway, how good do you feel now having Treylon, proving what he can do in a couple of games or 2 or 3 games if Rakeem needs a breather or, gets hurt again or whatever?
I look at Treylon as a starter. I think he proved that last week. And when we get Rakeem back, I feel like we have 2 really good running backs right there, and we're trying to develop Dominique and Spivey behind them. And of course, before Oglesby got hurt, we were real pleased with what he was doing in camp as well. So Treylon, I mean, he's just a tough, what you're going to get every time he goes out there. He's a tough, physical, smart player that lights up the team when he goes out there. Lights me up too.
Kyle.
Hey, Coach, I was just kind of curious about the communication behind the scenes. I mean, when Lane Kiffin volunteered that information yesterday that his team was having, COVID issues, did that catch you off guard or by surprise by any chance, or do you have a heads up?
No, I didn't know anything about it. Matter of fact, I don't listen to other coaches' press conferences, so somebody else told me that I think probably was Kyle. Kyle probably told me that he had said that about his team, but I don't watch much TV. I got a show, they tell me. I got a show. I've never watched it either. Watch a lot of film, though.
Trey Schapp. Trey. Trey will come back. Bob.
Sam, you don't have to watch your own show because you already know what you said.
I'm sure it's a good show. I'm not saying that. I just don't, 10:30 on Sunday night, I'm trying to get ready for the next game. I didn't mean nothing negative about that.
You talked about Rakeem and Hudson. Are you feeling any updates, I guess, on Gerald Burks and Brown?
Treylon's practiced all week, so expecting him to play. And then Monteric has practiced all week as well. So we're hoping that he gets cleared for the game. That one I'm not positive about.
Hutch?
Yeah, Coach, I saw on Twitter, Levi Draper's parents, I think, tweeted about him getting surgery. Could you fill us in on what he got surgery on and kind of what's his timeline? Is he extended period of time out for the year, or what's the update on him?
Drape had shoulder surgery, and there's that Twitter again, huh? And he's out. He's out for some time, quite a while. And I hate it for him because he worked awful hard. He was doing a good job for us, and there was a shoulder injury that he had worked on before, and I just hate it for him. He's a great kid, and he'll be back, but he needed the surgery, and we didn't know how serious it was till about a day or two before. We knew it was serious, but we didn't know if it was needed surgery till about a day or two before he decided that, we decided he probably needs to go ahead and get it done.
Fresh out.
Coach, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was going to ask about special teams. Do you feel like you have that shored up with the alignment and everything after you've been called for several penalties in these first couple of games?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be a problem last week going in either. We have officials at every practice, and we obviously have our eyes on it, but it was. And so we obviously have emphasized it this week to make sure it doesn't happen again. But I think we'll play a lot better this week in special teams. We certainly need to. We've sure amped up everything, trying to get everything fixed, and not only get fixed, but let it be an advantage for us like I thought that it would be this season for us. So we've worked awful hard. It's a big day today, for practice day for special teams today as well. And we certainly hope that we got it all fixed.
Let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Scotty?
Trey Knox had kind of a frustrating day at Auburn. Probably thought he should have come down with a couple of catches. What's his work week looked like, and what are you kind of looking for out of him this week?
Trey's had a good week of practice. He always practices hard, and he catches the ball. And just unfortunate, he had dropped a couple balls last week, but one game's not going to define that kid. I'm proud of him, and he'll come back strong and be a good player for us. I have no doubt that he'll have a good game.
Trey Biddy?
Yeah, Coach, I was just curious on when you get these reports for the COVID testing and stuff, who delivers that? Like, is it just like sitting there waiting on pins and needles, or is there a certain time you expect to come in? Who's the deliverer of good or bad news?
Well, Dave Polanski is the guy who usually sends it. Every now and then, Mr. Yurchek will get it early, and most of the time when it's zeros, he'll text me, and it'll be an awesome feeling. But most of the time it comes through Dave, and depending on the day, on a regular day, like a Monday report, Wednesday report, probably come in around, depends, but somewhere, Trey, between 8:30 and 10:30 in the morning. And then tomorrow, it should be here every bit by 8, maybe even earlier. They turn around pretty fast. But I've got on my calendar the COVID countdown, how many we have to get through. Certainly nobody wants to not be able to play a game, and that's, You know, our kids work too hard. Fans want to see us play, you know. So to have to miss a game for COVID, man, it wouldn't be good, you know. It just wouldn't. Nobody wants that. So, you know, I don't want COVID. You know what I mean? So it's stressful. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you it wasn't. I mean, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, man, it's a stressful deal. Just hoping that you yourself personally doesn't have COVID, and obviously your team.
Nikki?
Coach, talk a little bit about Coach Carter and the job that he's doing so far. You know, one of the youngest assistants in the SEC, I believe. So, you know, he's preparing a walk-on and a true freshman to play out there. Just talk about the job he's doing.
Awesome. I mean, Sam has been a blessing, you know, as a hire. Wonderful person, knowledgeable, probably beyond his years. Certainly was with Coach Odom and has learned a lot from Barry. I think Sam will be a future coordinator in the league. And you know, the sky's the limit for him because of his character and his beliefs and his knowledge. And it will only grow in the way he treats his players and the expectations he has. The guy is an excellent person and an excellent football coach. I mean, he really is, and we're really proud to have him on our staff.
Hey, Sam, what was your reaction when you heard about Nick Saban testing positive? And did it just kind of shake you up? Because you're like, it's like that guy lives in some impregnable, you know, fortress. I mean, it's like if it can get to him, it can get to anybody. I mean, what was your reaction to that?
Well, I don't know where he lives, but I do know this, that my first reaction is that, you know, he and and I don't know who else is a little older in the conference. I'm not talking about years of being head coach. I'm just talking about life years. And the first reaction was, I hope that he's medically going to be fine. You know, I mean, Coach Saban's one of the, if not the best coach ever in college football, then he one or two. So you obviously want his health to be fine. That was the first reaction. And then after that, you know, obviously they're playing Georgia this week, Alabama, Georgia. And I just know how I would think that he would be very disappointed that he's not going to have an opportunity to coach in that game possibly. And that's about all I thought about it. You know, it's going to happen. COVID's going to happen. And it's just unfortunate for him and his team.
Bob, did you have another?
I'm good. Believe it or not.
It's the first time that's happened.
I can try to think of another one.
We're both good.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thanks, Coach.
See y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.